Hello and welcome to Ben's Addiction. Is it the steering pump or the steering rack that is making this noise? Let's listen to this. That's a big question. Let's solve it today together. And don't forget to give me a big thumb up and follow the channel if you haven't done so. Thank you. In a real life situation, we usually have access to this type of devices. But what about you're alone, you're working alone and nobody is there to turn the steering wheel for you. So now we are going to use the little microphone to find out what is making that noise. I want to place my microphone on the steering pump. You see that blue microphone LED? It's in there. Based on that noise that we heard, I'm 99% sure that the problem is the steering pump. In the previous video, you noticed that we fixed the leak first of all. So now it's time to fix the noise. And since this car was running when I actually bought it from the seller with not enough fluid in the reservoir, I would say the first thing that goes is the steering pump. And the steering pump is basically much easier to remove and replace and also less costly. So let's go ahead and replace that steering pump and see if the problem will fix or not. First of all, we need to make sure the pump that we have bought is the correct one. And as I can see by shape of it, that steering pump completely matches mine. First of all, let's drain the steering fluid reservoir. I have made myself a new vacuum pump, so I don't pump manually, and that this is much faster and much efficient, I think. So basically, I'm having a fuel pump for a motorcycle with a 12-volt battery here. Got 3 E10 volts. Let's take them out. That's 1. That's 2. And 3. We're going to take that lower clamp to put away the reservoir. Okay, now the pump is visible to us. Before removing the pump, there are 2 things to do. First, the removal of the serpentine belt, and then you need to take a photo so you can put it back. You need a 12.17 millimeter socket where I have put my spanner ratchet on, and you need a long breaker bar. You should push anti-clockwise to release the belt. And then the second thing, we are going to remove that bolt to remove the main high pressure line over there. After removal of the serpentine belt, we need number 22 to remove this bolt from here. This one was tight, so you need to take your time and use a 22 millimeter spanner. 2 seals, one at the front, one behind. Okay, now it's time to remove these bolts around. And the T30, you see it's already behind there and it's loose because I have removed it. So that's the last one. Let's remove it and remove the pump. This is completely out. The 4th bolt I can't even show you, but hopefully I can pull this out from here. Okay, here are the 3rd and 4th T30, and here are the E12 and E12 bolts at the front. Since my pulley didn't have any holes, so what happened over here, I actually took the bracket off as well. So this is the bracket for E12. So I need to put this old bracket on my new pump. So this is a bit crazy because I don't know really how to take those T30 to remove the bracket without the hole in the pulley. I don't know if this is, it doesn't look like an aftermarket thing, but I probably need to put a hole in that pulley because I don't need it anymore to take off those T30s without pain. So I'll do that. So as you can see, I fixed the design issue that Mercedes had on this pulley with no holes, and now I have great access to these two T30 bolts, just like this one. Okay, here is the old bracket on the new pump. Do you think it's going to work? Oh my god, look at my hand. The inlet hose, inlet port, 3 reservoir screws, intercooler pipe, serpentine belt, CHF 11S, now let's see if we got rid of the noise or not. Now that we solved the issue with the noise of the steering pump, let's go ahead and tear this down and see what caused all this noise to happen. And this is something that can be your problem as well. Because let's take all these beautiful 10 millimeters, which I'm going to reuse, made in Germany, high quality bolts. Let's take this cover off. There's probably nothing much over here, but we got a bearing, as you can see, over here. I'm pretty sure that probably nothing was wrong with this bearing, but this is the same mechanism that we have seen in the vacuum pump of the central locking of the same era of Mercedes, let's say 2002-ish, 2001 vacuum pumps. We might be able to see some, yes, scoring marks over here, as you can see. See all these scratches over here, and it's actually all the way around on the other side too. The first sign of the failure. What happens here, all that scratches and scoring makes a massive noise. This is the outer edge, which actually sits on the wall, and these are scratchy as well. These fins coming into contact to this wall over here, these scratches makes all that noise happening behind the scene. So the more the scratches, the more scoring, the more noise, and the less powerful the pump will be. So how does it work? This is the outlet. These steel balls over here cause the liquid or the fluid not to go back, but push out from the outlet. And this is the inlet. The inlet flows all the way inside. And finally, I can see some other shadows and marks and scoring over here as well. That can cause also some noise as well. So basically, this cylinder over here, it's not completely circle. And as you can see, it's oval. So at one side, the oil and the fluid comes in and gets trapped between the fins. When the centrifugal force happens, these fins even move away and cover all these areas too, as you can see. So that's what happens, and all those scratches and scoring causes all the noise and lack of power due to escape of the fluid from the side walls and between the fins. So lack of lubrication, always check your fluid level and make sure it's topped up and there's no leak. Okay guys, thanks so much for watching, liking, subscribing. Have a great day. Enjoy your Mercedes. Bye.
3, 2, 1!